Welcome to the 10 Minutes Gold Mine, where every book gives you a treasure of knowledge in just 10 minutes. Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. Introduction. Me Before You by Jojo Moyes is a poignant and thought-provoking novel that explores deep emotional connections, the fragility of life, and the tough choices we make. Set in a small English town, the story follows Louisa Clark, a young woman who takes on a new job as the caregiver to Will Traynor, a man whose life was tragically altered by an accident that left him paralyzed. While their initial interaction is marked by mutual resentment and misunderstanding, their relationship grows over time in ways neither of them expected. The novel delves into important and often controversial issues, like the complexities of living with a disability, the idea of euthanasia, and the pursuit of happiness. It also touches on themes of personal autonomy, love, and how we can find meaning in our lives even when we are faced with seemingly insurmountable challenges. As Louisa learns more about Will and his struggles, she is forced to confront her own life choices, and they both undergo profound transformations. Part 1. Louisa Clark's New Job. Louisa Clark is a quirky, bubbly, and somewhat naive 26-year-old woman who leads a simple life in her small English town. She lives with her parents and works in a local cafe, a job she's had for years. When the cafe closes, Louisa is faced with the challenge of finding a new job to support her family. She ends up taking a position as a caregiver for Will Traynor, a former high-powered lawyer who became paralyzed after a devastating motorcycle accident. When Louisa first meets Will, she is struck by his bitterness and cold demeanor. Will was once a man who lived life to the fullest, engaging in adventurous activities like skiing and traveling. But after the accident, he is left in a state of despair, unable to move or live independently. His emotional pain is compounded by his physical limitations, and he views his new life as a prison. His outlook on life is bleak, and he resents being cared for by others. Louisa, on the other hand, is determined to do her job well, despite feeling intimidated by Will's sharp tongue and difficult attitude. Her bright personality, cheerful disposition, and the colorful wardrobe she wears stand in stark contrast to Will's grim outlook on life. While Will tries to push her away, Louisa does not give up easily. Over time, she begins to see beyond Will's bitterness and starts to understand the depth of his pain, both physical and emotional. Part 2. The growing relationship between Louisa and Will. As Louisa spends more time with Will, their relationship evolves in unexpected ways. She begins to learn more about Will's life before the accident, including his past as a successful lawyer, his travels, and his passionate love for adventure. Will's previous life was one of excitement and ambition, but he now finds himself confined to a wheelchair, dependent on others for everything. This transition has been devastating for him, and he struggles with feelings of helplessness and anger. Despite his resistance, Louisa's gentle nature, her sense of humor, and her ability to see the good in people begin to break down Will's walls. Slowly, he begins to open up to her, sharing his fears, frustrations, and dreams of a life he feels he can no longer have. Louisa's determination to help him enjoy life again leads her to take him on various outings and adventures, from visiting new places to engaging in activities that give him a taste of what life was like before the accident. As their relationship deepens, Will begins to show a softer side of himself, revealing his vulnerability and the pain he carries. Louisa, too, learns to open up about her own life, her hopes, and her struggles. She realizes that she has spent most of her life living according to others' expectations, never truly pursuing her own desires or dreams. Will challenges her to think differently about her future and to stop settling for a life that is safe but uninspiring. Their growing bond sparks moments of both joy and sadness, as Louisa becomes increasingly invested in Will's well-being and happiness. Yet, Will's internal conflict remains. He is still haunted by the limitations his disability has placed on his life, and despite Louisa's best efforts to bring light into his world, he cannot see a way out of the dark place he feels trapped in. Part 3. Will's decision to end his life. As Louisa's connection to Will deepens, she is confronted with a painful truth. Will has decided to end his life through assisted suicide in Switzerland. Will believes that the life he is living is not worth continuing. His paralysis has robbed him of his independence, and he cannot imagine a future that is fulfilling or meaningful. His decision to end his life is something he has considered deeply, and although he is surrounded by people who love him, he feels that this is the only way to regain control over his life. Louisa is devastated when she learns about Will's plan. She cannot understand why he would make such a decision, especially given the impact he has had on her life. She is determined to change his mind, believing that if she can show him that life still has joy and meaning, he might reconsider. Louisa becomes obsessed with trying to convince Will that he can still find happiness, even in his new circumstances. She arranges trips, takes him to concerts, and encourages him to experience the world in new ways. Louisa even goes as far as to try and rekindle Will's passion for life by showing him how beautiful the world can still be, despite his limitations. She introduces him to new people, exposes him to new experiences, and helps him re-engage with the things that once brought him joy. Despite her efforts, Will remains resolute in his decision. He argues that no amount of kindness, love, or adventure can erase the pain of living a life in which he has no autonomy. He is grateful for everything Louisa has done for him, but he cannot see a future in which he can truly be happy. He has made his decision, and no matter how hard Louisa tries, he cannot be swayed. Part 4. Louisa's personal growth and Will's final choice. In her quest to change Will's mind, Louisa undergoes significant personal growth. She begins to confront her own fears and insecurities, realizing that she has been living her life based on what others want from her rather than what she truly desires. Will's unwavering decision to end his life forces Louisa to think about the importance of living authentically and making choices that align with one's true self. Eventually, Will travels to Switzerland to end his life, and Louisa, though heartbroken, understands and accepts his decision. They share an emotional farewell, and Will expresses his gratitude for the love and care Louisa has given him during their time together. He acknowledges that she has helped him find peace in his final months, and he hopes that she will live her life fully after his death. After Will's passing, Louisa is left to pick up the pieces of her life. She struggles with feelings of loss and grief but ultimately finds strength in the lessons Will taught her. She learns to take control of her own destiny and begins to pursue the things that bring her joy. She decides to follow her dreams, travel, and make choices based on what will make her happy. Conclusion. Me Before You is a powerful and emotionally charged novel that explores the complexities of life, death, and the choices we make along the way. Through the evolving relationship between Louisa and Will, readers are confronted with difficult ethical questions surrounding disability, assisted suicide, and the value of life. The novel invites readers to reflect on their own beliefs and the importance of living life to the fullest. The story of Louisa's personal growth and Will's ultimate decision serves as a reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of cherishing the moments we have. Me Before You challenges readers to think about what it means to truly live and whether we are willing to make choices that allow us to live authentically, even in the face of immense pain. What do you think about the ethical dilemmas presented in the novel? Do you believe that Will's decision was justified, or do you think Louisa's efforts could have changed his mind? Share your thoughts in the comments below. That's it for today's 10 Minutes Gold Mine. If you found value in this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep mining for more golden knowledge. See you in the next one.